Alright, what's up everyone? It's been a while since I've created any content, just mostly been busy with school, so I decided to try and get something out there this weekend. So, in this case, happens to be a Sephiroth guide. Now, the character's been out for maybe like 1 or 2 months now, so you've probably seen some good content out there, which there is. Whether you have or haven't, or you're interested in the character or not, I'm kind of providing my take on it. I'm going to go over, like an overview of the character, talk about his moveset, and some of what you want to do in some of the situations, how to reproduce them and handle them, things like that. Sephiroth's gameplay is a little bit similar to Palutena. I feel like he kind of plays as this hit-and-run character where it's very fundamental heavy. Essentially, you want to use his superior range and speed to your advantage. Those are his main strengths, and his kill power. He's got a very strong juggle game. He's very good at edgeguarding and frame trapping. He can go very deep off stage, especially with the wing. He's got a very solid recovery as well. His frame data on some of his moves isn't that bad. A lot of the larger range ones are. And, of course, he's got what he's most well known for, the wing mechanic. So when you take roughly to 80 to 100% when the stocks are even, you'll get one winged mode or whatever you want to call it. It depends on the stock count, so if you're ahead by a stock, you actually have to get a little bit higher percent to get the wing. If you're down 1 or 2 stocks, you could get the wing as low as like 60 or 30%. And when you have this wing, what happens is you get a little bit. I think the character's a little bit faster. Your moves get more strength in terms of knockback and damage, I believe. You get a third jump as well to help your recovery, or just extra mix-ups. You can kind of just bait out things by jumping in front of them with the extra jump. Or, and he gets armor on the smash attacks. So when you're at a certain part, when you start the smash attack, you'll just eat right through a move. You'll take the damage, but you won't get hit out of it. Your game plan, again, is going to be kind of walling out your opponent, using your fundamentals to kind of keep him in the corner with your disjoints. Now, his main weaknesses, I'd say, are 2 things. Actually, 3 things. I mean, number 1, obviously he's tall. That's going to make him a bit easier to hit than most characters. The second thing is he's very light. He's about as light as Kirby and or Pikachu at like 79 units, I think. So he's going to die pretty early. You have to be very careful about the risk rewards you take. He's a very high risk, high reward character in that aspect because of his kill power, but also can die really early. He's got that glass cannon factor to him, and he has practically no out of shield. His only out of shield option really is this up air that comes maybe like frame, I want to say 8. I'm not even sure. But all of his other moves have a ton of startup. You can't just do those out of shield. So your main out of shield options are going to be either, this nair. You can jump away out of shield, just jump out of shield, roll, spot dodge, etc. What everybody else has out of shield. He doesn't have an up B out of shield really, especially because this takes time to start too. So let's kind of go over his moveset. First, his grounded move. So his jab, just standard 1, 2, 3 sends into tech chase. Nothing too special. A lot of characters have a jab like that. Really strong tool is his F tilt. Now, any move where he swings the sword like this or this, you kind of want to hit right before the tipper. You can kind of see it glowing. You don't want to hit right at the edge like this, because you can see it does less percent than if you do it at the very edge. Or sorry, you do less percent at the edge than you do at the sweet spot. You just turn the percent back down, so I don't have the wing anymore. So this does, what, 14? The very tip does 10, so you can see the difference right there. So it's a pretty solid kill move, actually. You can angle it up or down. I believe you might be able to hit ledge if you angle it downward. Yeah, so it can also scoop ledge on some characters. I wouldn't assume all characters, but... so that's his forward tilt. No, next is his down tilt. Down tilt's a little bit like... pretty similar to Cloud's, but it pops them straight up, which leads to a pretty good mix-up situation. So if you happen to pop them up in the air with this move, let's just say he's around like mid%. If you pop him up into the air, there's a few things he could do, right? So he could throw out a move or air dodge. He could double jump. So let's just say he double jumps, you can follow up and up air them. If he air dodges, you could say either catch landing with like a forward tilt, or you could try and put a shadow flare on them, etc. There's a few things that you could do with it. So that's pretty much what you need to know for his down tilt. His down tilt can also catch neutral get up like Belmont or Cloud or any of these sliding down tilts. It also hits ledge, I'm pretty sure. It should hit ledge. But it can also catch neutral get up. Now, next is his up tilt. This move actually kills a little bit earlier than you think it would, than I thought it would initially. But maybe around 120, 130. There. This has very little horizontal range. It's very thin, but it does scoop in front of you, so you have that aspect of it, the hitting. So for example, let's just say your opponent's in the corner shielding. You know, they're afraid of getting killed by back air. Then you can bait out a roll and, you know, kill them off with that, for example. It can also hit them straight out of the air. It reaches the top platform on Battlefield. Next I'll talk about smash attacks. They're all incredibly strong in their own right. They're all pretty useful in their unique ways. Forward smash, pretty good at... A lot of his smash attacks are good at calling landings. This is gonna kill pretty early. I think this is this isn't active for that many frames. But yeah, it's gonna kill Falcon at around 70 at the ledge. Does like 20 something damage. If you land fully charged neutral B, you can combo into it if you're at the right distance, like that. Next is his up smash. This up smash actually hits behind him on taller characters, so you can actually use it to call out rolls as well. So if you make a hard call out on ledge, this will cover, what, maybe a spot dodge, a roll, and a jump. However, if the opponent just sits in shield, then you might need to punish for that. All of these smash attacks are very laggy on shield. Speaking of shield, the down smash breaks shields. It won't break somebody at full shield, I'd say, but if they take a little bit of shield damage and you read them holding shield again, you can just kind of point blank call out their shield and break it. Which, of course, you could get a punish that will probably kill them if they're by the ledge. Keep a note that if you don't hit the ground, it won't break their shield. It won't do the shield damage unless you hit it on the ground. So those are his smash attacks. Next are his aerials. So, again, his neutral air. Pretty solid out of shield option. It's also like -4 or 5 on shield. Something very... It's like the safest of his aerials. So don't be... it might be a good idea to actually, your opponent might get in the habit of, oh, all of these aerials are laggy. I can punish them. I can punish him by shield grabbing. Like, you could probably shield grab Sephiroth's forward air, or back air if he spaces it wrong. But his Nair, no, you can't shield grab this. It's too safe. So you might want to mix in Nair spot dodge, or Nair jump away, Nair, maybe not Nair roll, but Nair jump away if they try and punish it. And because of its low lag, it has the ability to combo into other moves, including itself. You just saw I linked 3 of them in a row. It's a little bit like, it reminds me of Greninja's neutral air. A similar angle, similar hitbox. But yeah, you can combo into pretty much any other aerial in his moveset. I believe you can combo into up angle, F tilt. You can combo into shadow flare, I believe. Yeah, you can. So you can get a bit creative with that. You can even combo it out of shield, I believe, if they're at a little bit higher percent. So I could be shielding a move, and then that's a combo. That's a combo. So you could probably even do it out of shield from behind, and then follow up with back air. Back air might be a little bit slower, so you might have to get that at higher percents. But you have to fast fall with it in order to follow up afterward. So next is going to be forward air. This is a really good poking tool. This is probably one of his best tools in neutral. It's active for actually about 6 frames. Which means it's actually pretty solid at catching neutral get up from the ledge as well. Just like that. Now, next is his back air. This is like your primary, I'd say, your primary kill tool. It's, I mean, definitely one of the least committal out of them, because if you space it right, it's pretty much unpunishable by, like, the majority of the cast, unless they parry it. But this thing's got a lot of knockback. It could probably, it'll kill, like, decent weight characters by the ledge at, like, 90. especially if you get that sweet spot that I mentioned earlier. You want to hit the sweet spot, not the edge. That did 17, or wait, 11. My bad. How much did that do? The very edge does 11.7. I don't know. It seems like the sweet spot's at the... Oh, that was 17. The sweet spot does about 17%. The edge does 11. Next is up air. This thing is enormous, but it has an enormous amount of lag. You can see me holding shield afterward. The thing is, you don't want to fast fall with it. It won't come out in time. So you actually just want to... If you're going to short hop with it, you cannot fast fall it. It also hits on the backside, like up smash. You can't really combo into anything because of how laggy it is. But it's really good at frame trapping opponents. You hit them up in the air. They have to air dodge if they're going to respect it. Or get hit by it. It's good at calling out jumps. It has solid kill power as well. Lastly is his down air. This is mainly going to be used for... like 2-framing, because it can spike opponents at the ledge. That's pretty much its main use. It's also a decent landing option, but it's got a lot of lag. It pokes through platforms. And next is... That's all for his aerials. With respect to his grabs and throws, he has a very low grab range. It comes out pretty quickly, I believe, but it's got very little range. But I wouldn't say don't go for grabs, because he gets a lot out of his grabs. Almost all of his grabs combo into something, at least a low percent. So you can get down throw fair. I guess down throw nair if they don't hold in away properly. But what I'd say are better than his down throw fair at low percents are back throw back air. If your opponent is not DIing this correctly, you can actually get a kill ridiculously early by the ledge at around, I want to say this percent. And it's true if they hold in. But what I'd say is the best at like super low percents would be up throw nair. It actually leads to a mix-up. So I could go like this. That's true, and then choose to go for up air. You could choose to go for fair, you know, whatever aerial would work best. And if they air dodge that aerial, you can frame trap them. So, and then his forward throw kind of just sets up for tech chase. You know, they miss the tech, you could down angle F tilt, or you can up tilt, or sorry, down tilt, etc. So that's his throws. I believe last are his special moves. So first is, well, I know the fully charged one's called Giga Flare. It's just different versions of this flare. He charges up a giant projectile. There's 3 different phases to it. The first one travels a little bit slowly. Probably easy to avoid. It's just solid pressure. You could throw it out in neutral and probably get away with it because you're not charging it for that long. It'll condition either shield or jump. You know, you can catch them jumping over you if you read that. The blue one is probably the best for ledge trapping, in my opinion, because it moves very quickly and it'll catch people jumping. As you just saw, you can neutral get up to avoid these entirely. Giga Flare, incredibly strong. It kills at like ridiculously early percents. And you can combo it into a smash attack if you're spaced right. Like that. So if you get a shield break, you just, you know, fully charge that. They're dead. The really good thing to know is you can cancel out of this with either double jump or an air dodge or shield if you're on the ground. So what I like to do is sometimes you'll get an opponent at ledge. You start acting like you're going to charge this, they might jump over you, and then you can cancel it, call them out. Things like that. Of course, you can just use it to be reverse if you want to be tricky with movement. You could also be reverse next. His side B, Shadow Flare. This goes right through projectiles. If somebody launches a projectile, it'll just beat it out and hit them. So, you know, we call them the Skittles.
Shall I give you grape Skittles? Whoop. Whoop. Right there. Cloud. Open up. Hey, what's that on your toe?
So if you land, it doesn't matter how many you land on them. The timer lasts about 4 seconds before they'll attack the opponent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it'll hit them right here. If you look at the one Shadow Flare, it hits them right at about this diagonal right here, when it hits about 3 o'clock. that's when it detonates on the single Shadow Flare. The longer you charge it, the more range it gets, and the more of these flare balls you get. You can combo stuff out of it. Okay, anyways, the thing about the Shadow Flares is they always launch away from Sephiroth. So if I jump over here, he'll go to the left. And like I said, you can get like some ridiculous combos off of it. A lot of damage. Next is his counter. This thing is ridiculously strong. Like, ridiculous. This is like the most DLC counter I've ever seen in this game. So, you want to abuse the crap out of it. Like, if you can counter somebody's recovery, do it. And the thing is, the opponent freezes when they touch this counter. So it will... They're not going to be able to avoid it. So it's got like a ridiculous amount of knockback, even on moves that don't initially have that much knockback. And the great thing is, if you miss, it'll still trigger. The downside is, you can hit him from above, below, behind, anywhere that isn't the front. That's like the main downside about it, is that it doesn't cover both sides. It doesn't cover his entire body like most counters do. It only accounts for in front of him. That's pretty much it for the moveset that he has. I guess I'll discuss a little bit about how you're supposed to play him in neutral, advantage state, etc. So in neutral, you're going to be wanting to use a lot of empty hops, dashing back and forth, mobility, just abusing his pretty solid mobility and throwing out these hitboxes. So it's a little bit like Belmont in the fact that you want to see what the opponent does after they shield your forward air. So, you know, if they jump, you could poke them again, or back air them, or nair them, etc. Maybe they're liking to shield it, you can go ahead and tomahawk grab them, and get throw combos off of that. You know, you could tomahawk F tilt them, you space that perfectly, that should be harder to punish. You know, harder reads on shield, things like that. Again, if they get caught in an advantage, or if they get caught in the air, you're going to want to use up air as your main juggling tool. You mix up waiting for their air dodge, you know, hitting them out of it, things like that. Another thing I forgot to mention about his forward air is that you can stick it into the wall for about a couple seconds before you have to let go. You can either jump or drop back down. Oh, yeah, you can only use it a certain amount of times before you get back on stage. I want to say about 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then it stops working. You can only do it 3 times before you get back on stage. But you can be pretty annoying with it. You could grab ledge, jump, and then poke forward air. You could do that like a couple times. The last special that I forgot to mention was Uppy. This you can actually delay your landing with. You can actually use it as a decent landing option. So if you're about to fall back down, you can stall yourself and then choose to go in a certain direction. Again, it's got very little lag, and it pops the opponent up. So maybe you're getting ledge trapped. You could actually go like that as a mix-up. To get back on stage. When you fully charge it, it becomes Octo Slash, which has a ton of damage and knockback. Did almost 30%. But if you don't do it, if you do it at an angle and you do it at too sharp of an angle, you won't get all the hits. You'll just go into the ground like that, which of course you don't want that. It could actually scoop against some recoveries at the ledge, but you have to know which character that works on. Like, it just hit him straight up below ledge. Now he's dead. Again, he doesn't have like the greatest combo game. It's mostly off of his throws and this neutral air. You know, you can't really combo out of up air. It's too laggy. It's mostly going to be his throws and his neutral air. Of course, when you hit him out of the fair at low percents, that might combo into stuff like F tilt, a grab, which then you can follow up with more damage. Down tilt isn't a true combo. The thing is, when you land Shadow Flare, it's really important to see how your opponent reacts to it. A lot of people know that you have this shield break setup, where if they shield the shadow flares upon detonation, you can just down smash them. So they might go aggressive on you. They might start running at you, in which case you can just back away and whiff punish them. They might run away from you. You could chase after them and add more pressure. Either way, they're in a disadvantage when they have these on them, because it's gonna change how they play. But don't just tunnel vision and fish for the combo, because that's gonna mess you up. His neutral B is pretty good for ledge trapping as well. Like I said. So you're gonna want to use that to force an option, kind of like the axe. They have to time a get up, which if they neutral get up, you could just grab them, or you could just down tilt them. If they roll, you can just cover that with nair even, or even an up smash. If you make a hard read on that, you can up smash them, up smash their ledge roll or their jump, things like that. One thing I forgot to mention about the up B is it's extremely laggy if you do the fully charged Octo Slash, so only go for that if you make a hard read. If you are recovering vertically, it might be a smarter idea to do it facing away from the stage, because it will hit them away. If you space it right, you won't get punished if they try to counter it on top of that. So yeah, like I said, he's got a really strong edgeguarding game. He can go really far off stage, and the forward air is just so good at just stuffing people out. And you can just use Octo Slash as a last chance to stuff somebody out as well. Hey, I like Velma. His F tilt is pretty good when used with a this sliding pivot as well. Again, not only does that hit ledge, but neutral air hits ledge. That's pretty much it at a basic level of the character. It's just a lot of fundamentals, a lot of reacting to how your opponent is going to deal with the shield pressure and what they do to pressure your shield, considering that you don't have very many out of shield options. You're going to have a lot of trouble killing because you don't have any great out of shield options. You're going to have to try and optimize what you can get out of the edge guarding situations and when your opponent is in the corner. So that's the main thing that you should work on, is just keeping your opponent in disadvantage as long as possible, and just playing a safe, patient neutral, knowing that this character can die at pretty ridiculously early percents. When recovering, of course, you want to try and mix up the angle that you go out with this. You can go at like a variety of different angles and still snap to ledge. Just make sure that you're not holding down, or else that happens. You know, I could go almost straight down and still make it to ledge. But yeah, don't just always recover horizontally every time, because your opponents are going to be calling that out if you do that too often. And that's pretty much it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, etc. And I'm going to probably release another character guide along with some VODs from my Twitch channel if you haven't been watching the streams. So keep up with that, and I hope you guys have a great week.